Oh, today I'd like to share with you a little bit about the problem. It's easy to eat, guys. These are 2 crickets. I'm feeding sugarcane for tomorrow morning. This sugarcane issue is very important because it's about quality cricket meat as we harvest. There are a lot of camps that I think are extremely beautiful cricket uniform, large size. It's almost 99% of you. But when it came time for me, my stomach was dirty. It's in the gut. There's soil. It's a lot of stuff, you guys. So that's how we deal with this feeding moment. It has a clean stomach. Then let's make it 100%. The way I have shared a lot. How many hours to feed the crickets before feeding sugarcane? How do we clean the barn? Right, though. There are also many Chang, like medical, but his intestines are still dirty. The reason is this, guys. For example, the process is that we all know before we feed the crickets sugarcane, let's start cleaning the cage. Clean the cage, though. However, cleaning the cage is there enough sugarcane that we put in the barn? Compared to the number of crickets, the second one is the health of our crayfish cage, too. And the third, that's the time we made sugarcane easy to eat. Now I'm going to go through each one of you. What? So the first problem is how much sugarcane we put in. Easy to eat. Then we have to aim to be SAO. The amount of sugarcane put into it. Enough for all. Well, the number of chairs in the barn it's got. Let him eat. You've got enough to feed him. Avoid the situation where I keep talking. A cage like that we can feed a tree. But a tree is a cage. It's only 20 pounds, even if it doesn't count as a big tree or a small tree. That's what you imagine, too. A cage like them. We put sugarcane into the SAO that we see with the naked eye. There's sugarcane in every corner. There's no angle to eat. It's missing sugarcane. But this cage is not very crowded. This barn is 12 kilos. It's because it was eaten by rats. In the morning, when cleaning the cage, there are 8 mice are so big they eat. He broke the cage. Since childhood, it has destroyed a lot. It's missing a lot, and so it's with this amount of crickets. We only give sugarcane like this. Give sugarcane like this, guys. In these corners, there's sugarcane here. There must be sugarcane for it everywhere here too. There is also sugar in there. All along the sugarcane grooves, guys. That's what we allocate sugarcane to. It's full in the corners and it's a lot. Compared to the number of crickets in the cage, it will make sure to be the first, is that the cricket will have sugarcane to eat. So that's the first factor that we need to make sure. The second one, well, that's a health issue. There's a lot of camps where their dead crickets, guys, die at the wing stage. It's weak. When we put sugarcane in, it doesn't eat, or it eats very little. As for the barns, that's going to be hard to handle. It's going to be cleaner. Well, like this cage, guys. I saw him running the fence. He wanted to eat all the sugarcane we put in. There's a lot of cages that we put in, but it will. There's no eating or shaking. It looks very boring. Even though it's easy density in the cage, it's not because he's not hungry. It's because of its health. You are it. It's affected at that stage. On the wings. So it's dead. And whoever lives. So it doesn't eat much sugarcane. In this situation, I think you should cut the food before the range. Half a day or a day, guys. When he's hungry, he runs out, and then we just pump the sugarcane in. Feed it. Put the sugarcane in to solve that problem. It's not that we just do the sugarcane. 10 barns as well as a health barn. Weak as well as the cricket is healthy. That we keep put the sugarcane in after cleaning the barn. Things a BC. If you keep the sugarcane in like immediately, you're out of luck. It has the same situation as I said earlier. It's probably a weak cricket cage. Turns out, he won't eat sugarcane. That's all I used to be. Are dirty. There are some camps where I have met the situation, guys. And I just have them. Well, next time the crickets are weak, it's the math that solves the problem. Well, the bowels are dirty. And that's the last problem. That's how long it takes to feed sugarcane. So now this. Let's be honest. How long does it take? It's just at a level relative to China. To be specific, I think we need to direct intestinal examination. For example, these two boxes, I guess, according to my experience, only needs to eat for 4 to 5 hours. I have to starve him 5 hours and 6 hours so that when he's hungry, still hear him running the fence on his new hip, and it runs the fence. That means he's hungry. Then we're feeding for about 3 to 5 hours. 6 hours. I'm sure these two bells will clean their bowels. However, there are your cages. Maybe it's a little sugarcane, or it's not so healthy. For example, it doesn't have enough hunger. Then it can eat the time that has to last longer. Then it becomes the most certain measure to know how many hours. That harvest, then we have to check. Before we harvest, you must. Loading a range of degrees, 2 or 30 crickets. Don't worry about 30 crickets. That's or something. Raw. We'll peel off one by one. We peel them off one by one. Let's check the intestines later. We're going to test the cricket gut. It's a little hard to see at night, to sympathize with us. One by one like that. Let us check his intestines to see if he's clean. In the case that it's clean, we collect it. It doesn't eat anything, but in which case it's not clean. Then we'll continue to feed the sugarcane. And then every 2 or 3 hours we check again. We feel it. His intestines are empty. For example, 20 kids and 2 kids. There are 18 left. On average, I think it is. The rate at which 90% is clean is 1 in 10. It's not very clean. It's because sometimes it eats your paper. There are many children who don't like to eat sugarcane. That's what I have to accept. But it has to be at a relative level, which is 90%. It's a clean sheet. That's the way we do it. Clean the cricket intestines. Tomorrow I will shoot the scene. I'll show you the harvest. These 2 barns doesn't work with output. You guys are terrible at this camp. Mouse it on it broke. It eats a lot. But what you'll see is the proportion on the wings, how extremely uniform are very healthy. Not give birth. The Central Highlands is now in the cold season. There is no such thing as a house on my side. I've arranged the leaf source will be temporarily suspended. Even now, if you feed know what's wrong with breeding now. It's early November, the beginning of the 11th month. If you release the seed, it will be collected in about 50 days. Time is approaching, so it's going to be very exciting. It's very exciting, guys. So I experienced them. What about years ago? This is not enough, or CA. I can't erase time from time. In the period near Tet, it is best that we should stop raising a litter. No problem. The eggs, RA. The camp will exchange later. I'm not going to work on the egg trade. With associations as well. And I'll introduce households together or something. The households will do it themselves. That's when you do the notes I just shared with you. I guarantee that the root canal will be clean. I have guests they do. Distributors assigned to those restaurants. They really like their because crickets. It's very clean. Not to mention the smell of crickets as well as the color of uniformity on the wings of things, because it has a process, and it has experience. I can solve those problems. That is, tomorrow, if we collect these 2 cages, we will shoot as well as sharing. I'll tell you more about our problem. This is our prep. How do you freeze it? It's going to be next to this video. I hope you'll follow the video, so that we know how a harvest is processed. How to store packaging, give it standard. Because that is so important. When I can do that. Then the stitches are easy. Selling to AI is easy. And if we do, and don't get to the end, you buy and sell. They only sell once. Later, if the quality people is not take it anymore, will they? And today's video is quite long. More than 9 minutes.